Hello, I'm speaking to you now from the main room at the library at Berkeley, California. Actually, as you probably have guessed, I'm not really speaking to you from there. And if I'd spent a lot more time there, I would have probably been a much better student when I was at Berkeley. It's a great research library. And most certainly what we're talking about here is research. What do we want to do when we talk about a research topic? And some people really struggle with this. One is we want to have a topic that's clearly identified. You might be amazed how many people, you might just be really amazed how many people don't really identify their topic when they're writing a paper. They just go out and get a bunch of sources, and then they just kind of go from one source to the other, and the sources determine the topic, not the individual. You want to make sure that your arguments are based upon valid ideas. You don't want to just be opinions. You want to really have some theoretical basis, some facts, some good basic orientation to what the issue you're talking about is about. You want to link one topic, subtopic of the paper to the others. You want to make sure everything pulls together. And one way to do that is to write a really good introductory paragraph. And finally, what you want to do is you want to really write a conclusion that talks about how important the research is, not just a summary. After all, most things we're going to be writing are relatively short. You don't need a summary. You need to talk about what was important. Think of it like a sales closing argument or something. This is why you should buy the product. Now, validity is important. There are important to go out and look for sources that are reliable. Again, I think if you've looked at my comments and list of comments relative to the media, you know that some are more reliable than others. But wherever the information comes from, and sometimes you need to quote unreliable sources because that's where you will get opinions of people who are politically active. And you basically may be doing it, but you have to always identify that source, where that information came from. You want to make sure that you are clear in all your arguments and link that up, and so that when you do that quote, it's relatively pertinent to the topic you're talking about. Understand there's also multiple sources. There's direct information, which somebody just collected. There's secondary information, where people go through data that's been collected in the past and do summaries of it. There's peer-reviewed, and most certainly you want to do that as much as you can. And of course, there's current news. And sometimes current news is not extremely validable. I mean, it's hard to verify it at times. But most certainly, if you're talking about a current topic, you have to go to those kind of sources. Keep your history on political issues relatively short. What you want to do is talk about what's going on and what's relevant now. Many people will write a paper on a political issue for this course, and that is one of the requirements. And 3/4 of the paper is just history. You can use tabular data, but make sure that it's relevant to your topic. Charts are the same way and things of this type. But I really want to finalize on one other final type topic, and that is, it's very easy in political science, as we've discussed earlier in the course, to confuse what we call normative arguments with empirical arguments. A normative argument is a value statement. An empirical argument is something that's based by data. Again, going to one of the examples we talked about earlier, the United States is a representative democracy. Now, that's a statement of fact. You can question whether or not it's as representative as it should be, but most certainly we do elect representatives, and they do make laws. Now, if you call that good, that's a normative argument. But if you just call what it is, then it's an empirical argument. It's important to keep these clear. Now, the paper you have for this course, you have to be very careful with it, because you cannot take sides. So be very careful to make sure that you're not throwing in normative arguments when what you really want to be doing is using empirical arguments. Again, I want to remind you to go read the short sample essay that I provide as access to you in this course. Go through it, take it seriously. I've tried my best to make it easy for you to take a look and write a short essay and feel relatively comfortable with it. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.